Okay, who here wants to know how to pick profitable app ideas, get more users, and increase revenue? No one?
Everybody.
Me.
Okay, by Milos Jokic, that's me. Okay, so let me talk to you a bit about myself, and then we'll get into the good stuff, the value. So who I am, who am I? Okay, I'm Milos Jokic, and my app portfolio so far earned $100,000. But it wasn't easy for me, so it was quite the opposite. And let me tell you a story quickly. So I built my first app in 2011. You can see how beautiful it is, and I will zoom it so that you can see the beauty, right? It's a masterpiece. 2011 design. That was my first app I launched for Android. And I made all the mistakes you can imagine. You know, the design was horrible, user experience. I got reviews such as, "Oh, what is this app about? I don't understand anything. It's, ugly. It's not useful." And it was a problem for me because I knew how to build apps, but I didn't know how to generate revenue. So this was my first app, but as you'll see, like I built a lot more, and like after a while, I just decided, okay, cool, let's quit this app business. It's not making any money. And I continue with my university. I eventually got like a master's degree and boring corporate job as a developer. And hopefully this will relate to some of you guys, but that job was just like draining my soul. So it was earning okay income, but I'd rather like yeah, I don't want to go into the crazy stuff, but it was draining my soul. Okay, so then in 2017, I left my job after 3 years and just took a leap of faith. Okay, so I had an app that I was building on the side, but I basically had like no plan. I mean, my plan was to get out of the corporate world and make a living out of mobile apps. And like honestly, just by pure luck, like nothing else, my app idea got some investors excited, and they sent me money. So I had 1.5 years to figure things out. So I had some money on the side and then a bit more like investor money and 1.5 years to figure things out. So this is me trying to figure things out, like promoting apps with flyers. Not sure if you can see, but this thing, let me zoom it. Like, I had like a stand and these things, giving flyers to people trying to download my app. And, spoiler alert, it didn't really work out. So 1.5 years passed and the startup failed. But I did learn a lot, then I just launched some more apps and of course failed more. And then I applied for software engineer in Google in Zurich. It was like 9 log interviews. And after 2 days, I got rejected. So I just want to show you that, things are not like always smooth. So that's why I'm trying to show like my path before we get into the good stuff. So, okay. And then after that rejection, I finally got the, something working for me, which is I got into Toptal. So for those of you that don't know, it's like you can think of it as like an elite freelance platform where it's really hard to get in, but the clients are like really good. And I became a Flutter tech lead there, and I worked for 10 clients. So I worked for clients that like literally, generated like tens of millions of dollars per year in revenue, but also clients that like burned more than 1 million on one project. It was crazy. That was just like a mobile app that had more than 20 engineers, like crazy stuff. And like from small two-man startups all the way to post-IPO giants. And then I finally did it. So in 2019, I launched an app that eventually crossed $100,000. And here is the Firebase graph with the earnings. So I finally did it in 2019, but again, the same problem. So I thought I was smart again, and then I knew it all. I have like $100,000 app. I'm the smartest guy out there, and like that's it, right? But turns out I'm not. So it took me 3 more years to finally like accept that I'm struggling with app growth. Like it's not easy. I find it really hard. Like even though I earned like $100,000 with this app, like this stuff is not hard. And as Bilal, as you pointed out like earlier, I don't really have like a place to learn app store growth, like really, like step 1, step 2, right? Things like that. So, and then, okay, in 2022, my daughter was born. So priorities changed like quite fast. So then I switched back to just, short-term cash grab, basically, which is freelancing, renting your time for money. And then in 2022, I continued with that path and grew the agency, ran it for like a year and a half and generated around like $500,000. It's like $500,000. It's crazy for me to even say that. When I was writing, I was like, is this correct? but it actually is. And of course, like profit was maybe like half of that or like 40% of that. So, it is like when the agency grows, then you need to pay people. So then like that really like eats into profit. So even though the revenue was that, like the profit was maybe like 40%, something like that. But it was too stressful for me, honestly. So the money doesn't matter. Like I was gonna, probably die in like 10 years or 5 if I continue that. So I just got back to the app business, and then I, launched some more apps. This is like one of my game that got, and this is like the App Store. This is the Play Store. It got like 15,000 users, really nice reviews, but I also didn't earn that much through that. And then, like recently I started like optimizing some of my apps and getting some nice wins. So this is actually my top app. So I increased the conversion rate. I mean, I know it's still like too early, but this is like early data from like 10 days ago. I changed the screenshots. I will discuss like the details for you, but like the conversion rate increased by like 1.5x, 1.7x. So it's massive. Imagine like almost tripling your business, right? Crazy. And then I tried to grow my other app, and these were some like quick results. I did this in like 20 minutes of keywords and then one screenshot redesign. And then what's next? So I'm documenting all of this, all of my journey, all of my struggles, mistakes, lessons in real time. So, this is my post for like a few days ago. I'm not sure if you follow me on LinkedIn, but I post stuff about app business all the time. And yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. So my mission is to help app founders find profitable app ideas, get more users, and increase revenue, all without wasting years of painful mistakes like I did. So if we remember, I launched my first app in 2011, and only in 2019 did I, launch an app that generated more than $100,000. And it's life-changing. So yeah, I want to help others do it. So let me stop there. Are you guys excited? Do you trust me to help you earn more, get more users, and build profitable apps?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So I will cover, like, there are a few things that I want to cover now. And, I'll cover each and then leave some room for QA about that topic. And then at the end, I'll cover all the questions that you guys posted in the school community and in the chat as well. So let's start. So profitable app ideas. This is a post that's a bit, controversial or whatever, but like people usually start with apps, right? I have this app idea, I have that app idea. And like, honestly, like who cares, right? Like your users don't care about apps. They have, they have like desires, they have passion, they have problems, and your apps should just like solve those problems or fulfill those desires, right? Like if and transformations are like a really good place to build an app. So my top app, the one that generated more than $100,000, it just solves like a transformation. So spiritual awakening. Like I help people on that path, and that's why it's so valuable. Like there are other apps that help you like find a soulmate. So like Tinder or whatever, tens of billions of dollars worth of value. Lose weight, earn money, save time, right? So those big transformations, big desires, those are app ideas that will always be profitable because they are based on human needs and human desires, right? So keywords can change, like the cool tricks can change, but humans don't really change for the past like 100,000 years, honestly. So if you help people like earn more, find a soulmate, and like similar desires like lose weight, get fit, get in shape, things like that, then you will make money. So don't build a notes app or a habit app. That's not a desire. And yes, you can, like, I'm not saying that you cannot earn money through this, but I'm just saying there are easier ways. And my top app, so I launched it in 4 weeks, and like immediately I started generating revenue. Like it doesn't take, when you nail down this, like it doesn't take a lot of time, really. It's just like 4 weeks of building, and like in the first week, the money started getting in. Okay, any questions on app ideas? But yeah, sorry, I've linked the video from the classroom, and you will get this document, so you can check out like in more details. Any questions on picking profitable app ideas? Does it make sense? Is it nonsense? Maybe you don't agree?
Well,
Right,
I have one
clear
question.
perfectly.
Oh, sorry. I want
Sorry.
to. So is this like, I'm asking just purely out of like curiosity. I don't know if this is true, but are these kind of niches already a bit saturated? Or do we find like more even niche down approach in these?
Yeah,
niches?
so there's always like, when you niche down, like it's never going to be saturated. Like the small niches are never saturated, and you start small. Like my video, here like expands on this, but you don't start with like lose weight or fitness niche. Like that's too broad, right? But then you narrow down. Maybe like I want to be in home workout fitness niche, and maybe not even that. I want to like stay at home moms home workout niche, and that niche is still like tens of millions of users, but it's that small niche, right? Or whatever, like software engineers home workout or something, right? And that niche is still going to be like big enough. Later you can maybe expand, but it's never like you don't start from the big niche. Okay, you can pick the big niche and then narrow down and then start from that like small corner in the saturated niche where there isn't a lot of competition or any. Like for my spirituality app, like there was, I would say, like almost no competition that did in a way that I did it. So everyone was meditation, like audio lessons and whatever, dudes whispering in your ear, but I was just like building text lessons, like 5-minute text, right? So I basically created my own category and dominated. Okay, number 2, minimum viable product, MVP. So you have your idea, and then set a date 4 to 6 weeks in advance, and that is your launch date. So you just need one core feature that you want your users to do, and everything else is a distraction, okay? Because your MVP is just used to validate your business idea, okay? So we are not like building apps here, we're building businesses. And our hypothesis is like it needs to be tested, right? Does anyone want my thing? And is anyone willing to pay for my thing? And that's why we need the MVP to be monetized from day one and launched as soon as possible. Like this is our biggest business risk. So let's launch it, let's monetize and see if people want to use it and pay for it. And of course, you need analytics, and you need to like, if you never launched, then you need to figure out how to launch in Play Store and App Store. There are a lot of steps, but yeah. And if you're deciding on, which tech stack, just use like Flutter and Firebase. So Firebase is best for like everything that you need. You can, like integrate in like minutes or let's just say hours. It has everything you need. Like I never use anything other than Firebase, and like I don't need additional tools. Everything's there, like authentication, database, whatever. And Flutter is just nice because you can build for Android, iOS, web, desktop, and even cars. So if you have a tech stack, that's fine. But if you don't know what to pick, then just pick this one. And there are videos that dive deeper on this topic. Okay. Any questions on MVP?
So you're saying for us to monetize, to start monetizing the app immediately once we push out the MVP. So what my question is, how do we build credibility beforehand? Okay,
what do you mean by credibility?
Well, how do we market the app when it doesn't have any reviews or downloads?
We're gonna get there. That's one of the topics. I'll cover that. Okay. Okay, well, let's continue then. Monetization. So a lot of people monetize with ads, and like the revenue is just too low, and it makes the user experience horrible, and it's just like it doesn't work. So just like basically don't bother. You'll earn like $47 per month, and your users will hate you. Like, is it worth it? I'd say not. Now, of course, there are always exceptions. So games are really nice to monetize with ads, and also apps that have like I don't know, like millions of users or hundreds of thousands. Sure. But in my experience, it's just better to monetize with subscriptions and focus tier 1 countries, people that have money. It's much easier to get rich by solving rich people problems than solving poor people problems, right? In the end, we are building a business here, so why not make it easier for us? And then to get into the tactics, just use RevenueCat for implementation. It's really easy to integrate with the App Store, with the Play Store, and start with like roughly, like maybe like just like $2 to $5 per month and like $20 per year subscriptions. And also RevenueCat has like a UI templates for paywall, so you can literally like select a paywall, just add your headline and your product, and you're good to go. So you can do this like in a day or two if you've never done this. And this video dives deeper. Any questions on monetization?
Yes, I have a question, Milos.
Mm-hmm.
On one of the most popular apps that you've done, and you've utilized Firebase a lot, how much approximately does it cost for a user in Firebase costs? It relates to the monetization because we have to add that cost as well on the subscription.
Mm-hmm. So Firebase is really what's the word? Well, just say like nice and cheap. So my Firebase bill never crossed $10 per month.
With how many users approximately?
170,000 users, but monthly, I don't know, maybe like 10,000 to 20,000, something like that. But it depends, right? You cannot create a number like what's my dollar per user, because it depends on how you build the app, how optimized your queries are, and how much the users are using the app. So no one can give you a number. Just start and see your bill, and if it increases, then improve, optimize your queries. But yeah, this should not be something that's bothering you. And the free tier is really nice. So for most of my apps, I never even crossed the free tier. So if your app is new or low downloads, like don't worry, you shouldn't get any bill. It should be zero.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Screenshots. Now we're getting into the cool stuff. So this is something that I found recently, and I was kind of surprised that I didn't see this earlier. But let me explain. So, like, what's the point of the App Store? Like, there's your App Store listing. Like, there's just one goal, right? You want people to download your app, like nothing else. You want to attract more strangers, and you want strangers to click the install button. Like that's it. That's basically the only like business goal that there is in the App Store, right? So then how do you do that, right? When we break it down like this, then it's simple, right? So first, you need to grab attention, and second, you need to make users trust you and download your app. So on iOS, first free screenshots are visible all the time. So when they search a keyword, there will be like an app icon, app name, and the first free screenshot. So those really matter a lot. On Android, they matter less because there are very like rare cases where screenshots are shown, and users need to like tap additional buttons. So they don't matter as much as they do on iOS. So the strategy will be a bit different. So let's see some of the things. So users spend 7 seconds on listing, and the most of that time is spent on screenshots. So like screenshots, you should work on them. Like 80% of your time should be spent on screenshots in terms of working on your app marketing. And only 9% scroll through all the screenshots. So again, like the first, free screenshots matter even most. So they need to grab attention, and like most of the people won't even see the other like 5 or 6 or how many. And then what you need to do, you need to focus on benefits, and the expectation for app design is very high, and like you need to keep experimenting. So let me show you like one real example that I was just like playing with recently. So apartment rental. And let me see. So I hope you guys can see this, but so for example, check this first app, Zillow. You know, like how nice it looks and how it grabs attention. Right, like, and you can read it. Or maybe I can like stop sharing so that my screen is bigger. So sorry. How do I do this? View speaker. Okay, so this is right. It looks nice. You can read the text and so on, right? So compare that to like another app that is, you know, apartment rentals, and it looks like boring and you cannot even read the text. So if you see this app, you're probably just gonna skip it, right? And if you see the first app, it's like first gonna grab your attention, like what are these people in my phone, right? It grabs attention, and then second, you can read the text, so you will click through. And that's why Zillow is a like $3 billion app, and this other app, I have no idea what it is. So to sum it up, screenshots. First screenshot should grab attention. People, it's really nice, like creating having people images that really grabs attention because people are attracted to other people. Then second, like big font. Then third, create like contrast colors, and you can see like these people are like sitting in front of their house, and this is, you know, an app to like buy and rent houses. So you can really see like how this grabs attention. And then the rest, like it should be big font so that you can read it even in the search results. And then just focus on the user benefits. So that's the screenshots. Does that make sense?
Yes.
These tips
Questions?
are great. I just want to add some realizations about the screenshots on the App Store. Recently,
Sure.
I just look at the screenshots and try to see if my users are coming from the search listing or the product page. And then I see most of the downloads, most of the conversions on the App Store for my apps are coming from search listing. They are not tapping the icon and see the product page. They just see 3 screenshots, app icon, app title, and then download. Most of the users are coming from this, and these details are just proving that.
Yeah, thanks, Mustafa. And we did discuss about your app, and you are doing an amazing job on App Store optimization. So I want to congratulate you on that, and thanks for sharing.
Thanks so much, Milos.
I have
Yeah.
one question, sorry.
Mhm.
How do you see from where your app from where your app conversions are coming? Do you have like a special tab in App Store connector?
I just gone to analytics and then just try to understand the graphics, the drop-down options, and there you can see how much your downloads are coming from search listing without viewing product page, and how much is viewing the product page and then downloads. It's there, and then you realize that the 3 screenshots are just so important. And the app icon is just so important because for my apps, the downloads on the search listing page was much greater than the product page. They're not claiming there. They're just searching, choosing, and downloading. They don't want to see the details, the long screenshots. They just want to try fast.
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just said you are welcome.
Okay, keywords. So when starting out, biggest mistake I see people make is they try and focus on like broad, big keywords, right? Imagine launching a new meditation app and then you want to focus on the keyword meditation. So it's just not gonna happen. Okay, so what you need to do is first, like this does require a paid ASO tool. So I use AppTweak, but there are a lot of like different tools, so you can just like research and pick yours. So yeah, that is one thing. You will probably need a paid tool. There are free tools that I honestly like don't. Yeah, I cannot really trust them. Like this data needs to come from a lot of apps, basically. So how ASO tools work? They're apps, and we basically give them data, and in return they can create and scrape this, and they scrape also the public data, and then they make estimations on which keywords are easy or hard, which keywords people look a lot, search a lot, versus which keywords nobody is looking for. So it will always be an estimation, and it does require a lot of data. So that's why, in my opinion, using a free tool makes absolutely no sense, because the free tool will not have a lot of data, and then the estimations will be basically just gambling. So okay, there are okay. So you picked your keywords through the ASO tool, and then what's the priority? So the title, the keywords in the title have the strongest weight. So all the keywords that you want to rank #1 for, you should put them in the title. Then the second comes subtitle. That's the second priority. Third priority is keyword field, and fourth one is long description. And on Android, there's no keyword field, but there's short description. So that one is third priority. And also, this is something that I just recently found out. Keywords at the start have higher priority than the ones at the end. So this applies for title, for subtitle, and for the keyword field. So your most important keyword should be in the title at the start of the title. So maybe, okay, first is your app name, and then the second keyword should be your strongest keyword. And then, okay, description, people don't really read it. So you can use it to just like smash the keywords, but not in a silly way. You can use ChatGPT or whatever your favorite AI tool that you like, and you can tell them to use this list of keywords that you want to rank for. So yeah, basically description is just for you to rank for the keywords that you didn't put in the title, subtitle, and keywords field. And what I saw like some big good apps do, at the top of the description, you put happy reviews and quotes on top, right? So you can put a quote. So this app helped me lose weight, whatever, right? Sarah, right? And create like free reviews or quotes like that, and then you go deeper with all the ChatGPT generated description. So okay, there's promo. What's new? You can basically just ignore it, like it's not important for the algorithm. Some people read it, but it's just for updates, so nothing there. Promo text, you can use it for conversions. It shows like below the app in certain cases. When there's some kind of an update, you can use that to promote like some time-sensitive promotions and updates. And you can change the promo text without updating your app, so you can play with that. And also, you're not allowed to use any like call to actions or performance keywords, so like top app, best app, new app, #1, things like that. And then yeah, use ChatGPT. Okay, that was keywords. Questions?
Any examples?
Examples. Sure, let me stop sharing and open AppTweak and then show you. I don't want to share everything, so let me just create something first and then share. Okay, so this is AppTweak. Again, you can use like any ISO tool you want, but I'm using AppTweak. So okay, this is my worst performing app. So what I wanted to do is first I added competitors here. So you find your competitors, and if you don't know who they are, then you need to research, look for keywords and so on, and see what are your competitors. After you do that, then you select. Let me. This is getting in a way. Sorry. Then you select all here, and then you add all the keywords from their title, right? From all the competitors, the title, the subtitle, and the description keyword. So you add all of that. And then you have hopefully around 100 keywords. If you don't have, then you go into top installs and related keywords. So basically you're trying to find all the keywords where all of your competitors are ranking for. And you do that until you have around 100 keywords. And then the next thing that you do is, this is a small app. So what I do, I basically just order by volume, but not like this, in this order, right? And then I try and you ignore the ones with like 5 and you start maybe with like 10. And then what you do, you need to find like relevant keywords, right? Like borders, it's just one keyword. I don't think it's relevant. 24 hours completely irrelevant. And then profile picture maker profile picture. So it's a strange keyword, but it has like volume of 15, which can get you maybe, maybe 100 or maybe 100 users per month or something. And then I favorite that. And then I continue the process. So new profile pic, PFP, profile border, whatever. Then I continue the process until I have like close to 20. So between like 10 and 20 keywords, right? As you can see on the bottom, I have 17 favorite ones. And then I just pick, so, okay, what's the most important one? The one with like highest volume, but also lowest difficulty. And if it's like too high, then I wouldn't pick that one. I would maybe pick something like this, maybe around like 20 volume. Okay, this is 50, this is too much. So maybe, like Instagram profile picture is great. Facebook profile picture, new profile pic, PFP, and so on. And then I would use these and pick my top ones and then move to doing the keywords. So let me show you where's the name. So name, picture border maker is what I ended up with, and probably just name of the app, right? So there's like, then the subtitle, Facebook, Instagram profile pic. As you saw, that was one of the keywords. Promo text, I ignore. Description, I didn't do a great time, and that's it. So yeah, that's how you do it. And this is for like small apps. So if your app is larger, then you can target maybe like medium keywords, or if your app is bigger, then you focus on just highest volume. Okay, did I lose anyone there, or was it good?
Okay, I have one question. For example, if I'm ranking on a certain keyword, for example, I don't know, let's say intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Do I keep that keyword in the keywords field, or like in the title, or for example, like if intermittent fasting has a volume of 15 and difficulty of maybe like 20. Okay, I can get like 100 downloads per month based on that keyword. Now I want to rank for a higher keyword that basically has a 30 difficulty and 30 volume. Do I then remove the intermittent fasting from the title, put it in the keywords field, and then put the new keyword that I want to rank for? For example, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, in the title. How do you do that? Like, how do you iterate?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so you need to iterate. That's number one, definitely, and like step by step. So that's a great example. And how you do it practically, I would just move like one layer below. So if my keywords were in title, then I would move them to subtitle and then target my top keyword in the title again. Because like at the end of the day, like, what do you want? You want to rank for your most important keyword to be number one, right? Like that's always your goal. So why not just put it in the title, because that has the highest weight, right? And it's an ongoing process, so no one guarantees anything, right? No one really knows how the algorithm works, so you just need to experiment. And like, honestly, here's the biggest secret. So because I've been working with apps that are generating like millions per year, they all just experiment all the time. So 100% of the time, there are always experiments running, and that's how you win, by constantly like iterating, learning, trying, and then improving like one step at a time. The apps that do poor either do 0 experiments or do it once and say, oh, this doesn't work for me, and then they just leave. right? So if you want to win in the app space, just continue running experiments, and it doesn't take that long. Like you just saw my keyword, like process. It takes, I did speed it up, but it takes maybe like 20 minutes, right? And you just keep doing it.
Nice. And you detect the delta of how successful your keyword, or let's say publishing, was by the ranking. So basically you see, okay, I've ranked this much from the last time that I've uploaded the app.
So in the keywords research, you can always see like the growth, so the difference it makes. But you can also have your own spreadsheet of, okay, I want to rank for these 5 keywords, and then say, okay, this is my current ranking. You note it, and then after a week or 2 or 4, you can note your new ranking and see if you improved or not. So you can use the tools, but you can just also note in the spreadsheet. I saw some of the bigger guys doing just that way, right? Because you don't then rely on the tool. Maybe the tool can change or whatever, or it doesn't track properly. Here you just write in your own sheet.
Nice, thanks.
Okay, getting first 100 users. So the good news, like when you launch, if Google and Apple can understand what your app is about, you will probably get the first 100 users like for free by just launching. Because for new apps, they like to promote new apps, and then they kind of guess what type of users would like it. Then they push to those users, and if they like it, they push to more users, right? And if those initial guys don't like it, then your impressions basically drop. So yeah, a lot of times you will get 100 users by just launching. Now, if it's niche, then it don't. So as an example, for my drawing game, I got 15,000 users completely organically just through the stores. I never used any other promotion, right? So it's not just the first 100, it was first 15,000 users, right? But for some of my business apps for local service providers, that was way too niche, and Google and Apple didn't really understand what's going on. So I got, I would say maybe 5 users by trying just the app store. So yeah, for those types you do need other ways. But okay, what are some other ways? So warm outreach, you can just let your friends know, colleagues, peers, email list, anything that has a way for you to reach another person, you can use that channel to promote your app. Then content, your social media, of course. Then communities, there's so many of them, like Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, school platform. And paid ads, again, only in rare cases, maybe for as I mentioned, that local services marketplace for businesses. So that one is maybe a good example of paid ads, because you can directly target local business owners that are cleaners. So for example, we did really good. We got a lot of, we got 1,000 users that are business owners for that app that I mentioned through paid ads, because it's very easy to target, and they all want more leads and more money. So it's easy to make them click through. Okay, that was first 100 users. Questions?
I
So
would add
literally to start off with the with the application, it would be sufficient to try to make everything look nice only in the stores, in the Google Store and iOS, and after that we can focus on social media, websites, etc., etc.
Yes, I would do it that way. And your first users, those silent 100 users, they can also help you beta test, right? If things are not working, you will see from those users, and then it's better, to fix those early problems silently, and only then promote once that is out of the way.
Maybe off topic here, but still somehow related. Let's say, for instance, the pricing for my app would be $19 per month. Maybe that's too much for the first 100 users. Maybe I would benefit from adding an opening discount and setting it to $9 or $9.
Yes. So when you are starting, you are focusing on validation, not optimizing revenue, right? So you just want to validate, does anyone want to use my thing and pay for my thing? So like, it doesn't matter if it's like $5 or $20 or $50 or whatever. Like, the initial price doesn't really matter. You just want to validate, like, does anyone want this, and is anyone willing to pay? And later you can like optimize the price.
Makes sense. Cool. Thanks.
And what is, for example, the churn that you are looking for in the beginning? For example, if 3 or 4 people buy our app, let's say a weekly subscription, a 50% churn, is that like a good metric, or because it leaves place for improvement?
Right. So early on, your retention will probably be bad, because to have users stay month over month, you need to provide lasting value. So as an example, in my top app, I have like around 100 lessons. And it takes maybe like 2 months, 3 months for you to go over all of them. So after those 3 months, you really don't have a reason to stay. Like, you know, maybe if I had more lessons or whatever, right? But that's usually it. So that's why my lifetime value is like 3 times the monthly, or it's a bit more because, you know, people do subscribe to annual, and I also have a lifetime one. So my lifetime value there, I think it's like $22, something like that. So for paid subscribers, like $22, I believe, when I checked last. But yeah, like if you want more retention, then just provide more value, and it's gonna be bad at start. So that's expected. And how this works, like you need to optimize like one step at a time, right? So if no one is downloading your app, then you need to, you know, like maybe improve keywords or improve screenshots based on, do you lack like impressions, or is the conversion low, right? Then, okay, you download. Then is anyone like activating? So for my app, they should read like first lesson within the first like 3 minutes, right? So what's the percentage of people doing that, right? If that's bad, then okay, I need to fix that. Maybe I need to make the lesson shorter or whatever, right? Then how many are there like seeing the paywall? So, you know, if no one sees the paywall, then they're not gonna buy, right? So can I show it, you know, like after onboarding, before onboarding, right? Then experiment with that. Then what's the next step? Like no one is buying. Okay, why not? Maybe my paywall is bad, right? Maybe my price is too high, maybe whatever, right? And then you know, keep iterating. But retention is one of the things that I will maybe focus on like a bit later. Because there are so many things you need to get right. Like retention comes, you can think of it like a funnel, right? There are impressions, then how many will convert, how many will go through the onboarding, how many will pay, how many will like continue to pay. So the retention is like so deep down in the funnel. I would first focus on getting like these upper things first, because they can drive like business value really a lot. Like if you double impressions, you can like double your business, right?
Okay.
And then when you fix the retention, then that can also like increase a ton. But I would focus on like top of the funnel first.
Perfect. Thank you.
But of course, like, okay, maybe a caveat, like if users are like immediately dropping, right? Like month 1, and then they all of them like leave, then okay, maybe that's your bottleneck and you should fix that. But if they are staying for like 2 months, 3 months, that's like good enough, you know, like focus now on the top funnel, and then later, once that like the top is not your bottleneck, then focus on the bottom. Okay, we don't have too much time. I need to maybe speed things up. Okay, more ASO factors. So this is also something that I learned recently that affects your ASO, and you probably have no idea that's happening, because yeah, that was my experience. So app installs today. So what this means, if your app ranks higher today, more people install your app like today, that means you will rank higher for all the keywords today. And in practice, how you can use this, like if you want to rank for a keyword, but you cannot like make it, you are maybe number 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever, 10, then you can drive outside traffic. So through paid ads or social or community or whatever. And then because of the fact that you are driving traffic outside of the stores into the Play Store, like Google and Apple really love that, right? You're bringing eyeballs into their business. So they will rank your keywords higher, or you will rank higher for pretty much all of the keywords. but this is like very volatile, and it happens, I think, like twice per day. They're recalculating. So, you know, if you bring people today, you will rank high today, but like tomorrow you will drop if you don't bring as many people. Then keyword specific conversion rates. So if people search for a specific keyword and they convert a lot better, then you will rank better for that keyword. So that's like per keyword thing. Then ratings and reviews. You know, if you have great ratings and reviews, you will rank better. Then update cycle. So just the fact that you updated your app like once per month or once every like 2 weeks, it will rank you better. So you basically don't need to do anything in the app. Just the fact that you updated it tells Google and Apple that, you know, this business is alive, this app is alive, it's getting updated, so I will promote it to more people. Like no one wants a dead app, right? Then retention. So these last two are crucial for the business. So this is where all the money is going to come from for you guys. So if people are staying longer in your app, you will rank higher. And both stores are so smart with this. So let's say I rank for, again, like intermittent fasting or whatever, or let's say that's the keyword. I saw your app, I downloaded your app, and then the app is about like habit tracking or whatever. I'm just going to bounce away and delete. And then your ranking for intermittent fasting will drop. Even though a lot of people downloaded, because it's not relevant or people are dropping like day one, you will rank lower for that keyword. And also on the other extreme, if people stay longer and continue to like use and pay, you will rank higher for that keyword. Like doesn't matter if it's in subtitle, title, wherever, you will rank higher because people are retaining and paying when they download through that keyword. And same thing with revenue. Like at the end of the day, you know, Google and Apple are businesses and they want to make as much money as humanly possible. So if your app brings them money, they will rank your app better. So, you know, it's just business. Okay, let's go through this one real quick. So a lot of you guys mentioned you had problem with motivation, time, tasks, like what you work on. And yeah, like most people work on stuff that doesn't matter. So that's why you don't have motivation, you're procrastinating, not getting anywhere, right? You're trying to work on like 1% improvements or even like things that are degrading your business. And of course, you're going to get demotivated. Like that's, you know, I don't have a problem with that. I solved this. And the thing is simple. So I work on things that either like grow my business or help me learn. And let me walk you through an example. So let's say, again, like I have the app funnel and I know like, okay, this number is low. And let's say that's conversion rate. Okay, so my conversion rate is low. So that's like my number one priority right now. So I work on that, right? So I create new screenshots, I submit them to the App Store, and then I see the results, right? So it either increased the conversion, so awesome, I get more users and more money in my bank account, or they perform worse. So I know what not to do, right? So I either like get more money or know what not to do, like learn, right? Like isn't that the biggest motivator ever? So imagine just like doing that over a long period of time. Like as long as you keep going, you will succeed, right? So I mean, for me, it's more addicting than like Netflix or Game of Thrones, and I'm not even kidding. Like I don't watch any shows. Like this is more addicting. Like building a business is more addicting than like Netflix. Like, right? I either get more money and the dopamine hits, or I learn something and know what not to do and increase my chance of, you know, doing better. So it's basically I'm playing a game, learning and earning like crazy. So yeah, you just understand your bottlenecks, and like there are 10x tasks, the ones that grow the business. So in this example, it was the conversion rate. So if you are working on your like paywall button color, but like your conversion rate is 0.5%, you know, you're just wasting time, and that's why you're not motivated. Then there are like 2x tasks. Okay, like you need to whatever, like fix bugs or, you know, something. And there are 0x tasks. So again, maybe that, you know, paywall button color change. Again, maybe when you are, you know, like Duolingo, $1 billion app or whatever, then yeah, sure. That like 0.1% conversion rate will help a lot. But if you are, you know, like below whatever, like 10K per month, then that's a waste of time. So yeah, some 10x tasks are 2x tasks for others. So it all depends on the stage that you are at as an app founder. So based on your like knowledge, experience, and the skills, and the stage of your app. So is it new? Is it big one? Okay. We did spend more time than I thought on this, but hopefully this was helpful. So did you guys like learn anything new today? Was this helpful?
Very much so.
Yep.
Yeah, this was great.
Okay, awesome. So we don't have a lot of time. I will extend maybe by, let me see how much, like maybe 10 minutes. So I don't think we have time to do this, but if you want to, if one of your questions answered, you can still like, just ask in the community, like create a new post, ask in the community. I will be happy to answer, and the others will answer as well. And yeah, if you want, you can add an app link as well. So let me go over and let me see if there's anything in the chat. I'll go through that first, and then inside of the post.
This document and presentation is like a good summary of your course. Can you share the document with us?
Yes, I will share it after the call. Yes. Thank you. I will.
Yes. Thank you, Milos.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a lot of work. So the thing that I try to do on this call is help you to understand that you don't need a lot, like time is not your problem. Your problem is you don't know what you should focus on. And hopefully like on this call, I solved that. Affiliate marketing. So let's think first principle. So affiliate marketing, you're basically earning from people buying your stuff while clicking through your links, right? So in order for people to click, first you need a lot of people, right? Because the click-through is going to be low. And then even when they click through, the like how many buy is not going to be too high, right? So you basically need a lot of volume. Compare that to like just adding subscription to your app and earning from the first like 100 users. Like in my experience, that's a better path, right? And we always try to like make it easy for us. That's what I always try to do in business. Like if I can remove problems like completely, like not need to solve a problem, then I would do that, right? So why use affiliate if you can use subscriptions? Now, of course, there are always exceptions, but yeah, this is my general thought. I would always use subscriptions. Validation of the app. So I don't think you can validate an app without launching the app. So as an extreme example, like, let me tell you a business idea. So you should invite a stranger from another country to sleep in your bed. Now, is this a good app idea? It's an extreme example, but do you like this idea?
Couchsurfing, yeah, it works.
This is Airbnb idea, right? So it sounds strange, but it works. So there are other examples, right, of crazy ideas that maybe sound crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see. Like, look, there's no proxy. Like the people that are your market, they need to pay for it. So you can use a proxy maybe like to research competitors or research like Reddit communities, keywords, but it's just a proxy, right? The only validation is to launch. So
maybe one can look to the competitors' similar apps. If they are doing good, then maybe your app will be doing good. But for the validation, also the launching is required. Actually, when it comes to games, they can bundle an ad with some part of the game, and then see the analytics of the ads. If the people are playing from the ads, they will be playing from the game also. This is just a validation, but it's a okay validation, not a great
Yeah.
validation.
Yeah, that's a good example. And now I thought of another example for maybe even like any business idea. So what you can do is you can use like either ads or something that has like higher traffic, maybe your social media or whatever that has a target audience, and then just drive them to your like landing page. And the landing page should like the headline should be like focused on the benefit or the problem that you are solving, and then just create like either a wait list, or you can even have like a prepay option. So for example, that's how some business people are selling without even having a product. So if you think about like Tesla launches, the Cybertruck, the Tesla Model 3, whatever, like you could buy or deposit like before they even started creating a factory that will create the car, right? So you were basically like 2 years behind the actual car, but you could pay for it like today. So those are some extreme examples. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it's just, yeah, just launch the app. I don't know. Okay, let's see from this one. Okay, what challenges when scaling the Flutter app? You should not think about scaling. I think you are early in the game, so like don't worry about scaling. Like you need to figure out how to launch and how to get the first users. But okay, to answer your question, like yeah, I don't know. I don't have problems with Flutter scaling, and also there's no problems with like Firebase scaling because it's Google architecture and it scales like infinitely, right? Google, it uses Google Cloud. I'm using Google Ads to target Flutter app, so I use that for my top app, but I use it in a way that helps me drive so experiment faster. So for example, I change something in the app and then I drive ads to improve the experiment, to shorten the experiment time, so that I don't need to wait like a month for the experiment results. Like it can happen like in a week. Plus, when I drive traffic from outside, so using Google Ads to the store, then I rank higher for all the keywords that my app ranks. So it's a way to like boost your app store ranking and help you like iterate faster. But I wouldn't use it for like the long-term strategy. Optimizing ad campaigns. Yeah, I think that's like I don't have that much experience with it. Even though I spent like a total of $10,000 on ads. Yeah, I mean, just experiment, like for pretty much for anything that you do in business, right? Like roll it out, see what's working best, and do more of what's working best, and see what's working like not really, really bad, and then do less of what's working bad, right? And keep iterating. So that's with ads, that's with App Store, that's with like any part of your business, with paywall, with anything, right? Just launch it and run experiments forever. Again, like this is how 7-figure apps like do it. All the big apps experiment all the time. All the small apps don't experiment all the time. So that's a clue. Specific growth hacks that work well for Flutter. You mentioned Flutter a lot, but it's not important that it's built in Flutter, right? I just want to point that out. But okay, then growth hacks. I mean, there aren't hacks. Like the algorithms change, so things that work short term, like I wouldn't use that for my strategy. Now I know what works. Like so, for example, like you need to be specific, right? So for retention, you need to like provide more value. So and for subscription retention, right? If they are dropping, then you need to provide more value so that they keep subscribing every month. But yeah, if you can, maybe if the question was more specific, I would answer. Then the last one, optimizing the performance. I don't know, write better code and test. Yeah, hard to answer deeper without going into the details. Should we add premium features of the MVP? Yes, because and launch it free. So yes, add premium feature and also monetize, because we are building a business and not an app. So if you want to build apps on the side, that's fine. But if you want to build a business, then you need to monetize your MVP with the premium features, and then figure out, is anyone using, is anyone willing to pay for it? And it doesn't matter, like my MVP for that 100K app was, I mean, it was bad. It was, okay, but there wasn't a lot inside, and the design was not good. But none of those things matter, okay? So users, like not users, people just care about their desires, their problems, their hopes, their dreams. And if you help them, they will give you money for the solution. Like that's it. And at the end of the day, like we're just dealing with people, If we solve their problems and fulfill their desires, they will give us money. So yeah. Bilal?
I have one question. What was the split between the revenue generated between the iOS and Android app when it comes to mind?
For me, it was around 70 on Android and 30 on iOS.
Oh, really? So it was Android. Android was leading. Why is that? Because it's usually like the other way around.
Yes, it's because at that time I understood Google a lot better than I understood Apple. So I was Android developer first, and I launched to Android first. And then only, then in 2019-20 did I start to dive deeper into the Apple space. So probably if I launched it today, the split would be opposite. But yeah, it's because I understood the Play Store and the Google Ads and the Google ecosystem a lot better.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I want to ask a last question if you have time, Milos.
Yes.
Regarding to store experiments, how much time do you wait to say that's the result? A wins over the B, or is there a percentage that you account for?
Okay, so that's a very important question. And again, like all the small apps, not all, but pretty much all, get this wrong. So in statistics, there's a thing called statistical significance. Okay, so when you run experiment, and if there are low number of like conversions, impressions, and so on, then that experiment doesn't have statistical significance. And what that means, it means result is based on randomness, because there isn't a lot of data. So the result is completely irrelevant, and you should discard it. So then how long should the experiment run? It should run until there's statistical significance. That's a hard word to say. And both stores have this number. I'm like 90% confident, I'm 0% confident, right? Like both stores have that number. And it should be like at least 90 to 95% confidence on both stores. So, and then for like maybe practical, if it takes you more than 4 weeks, you probably need to work on impressions and getting more users, because you cannot really run experiments with statistical significance because the number of users is low. So, but yeah, on average, I would wait like 2 to 4 weeks. And then, if it's low, if it's like, 20% or lower, then I would work on getting more users in.
Thanks so much, Milos.
I have a question. How important is the product page for the app that we're releasing typically for example, in the Apple App Store? Should we spend time on converting the user there?
What do you mean by product page? The listing with the screenshots and everything?
On the website, for example.
The website. It's important if you drive a lot of traffic through it. If you don't, then it's not important.
Okay.
Right? Like if most of your users are just coming through App Store optimization, then it's not important. Like, for example, for my top app, like the landing page is like horrible. I hope no one sees it ever. Because no one is coming to that landing page. They're all coming through the store.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, I'll stop here. So if you guys still have like more questions, yeah, again, just use the community. I'll be happy to answer. It's okay. How was this call? Like, guys, did you enjoy it? Did you learn something? Did you have fun?
It was great.
Yep, yep. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
it was.
It was great.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So after the call, I'll send you the document link and I'll have this recording somewhere. So yeah, I'll keep you posted in the community. So thank you so much everyone for joining and see you in the community. Bye.
Thanks you.
Thanks,
later.
Milos. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.